everybody, and welcome back to another one of our preseason podcasts for Big Brother Hometowns 15. We are today going over the story, the second chance, the whole shebang of the moment. She is the icon. She is everything that you need. And I'm saying she, but it's not a she because it's Marcelo Guzman, who we are here to talk about. And I'm laughing because the person who's here to talk about thought that I was doing an intro for her. I mean, to be fair, she is the moment and she is the icon. It is Macy Love White. You were
I was sitting
backstage.
over
You
here
were
like,
like, "Yes, I am the moment."
I am
Thank
the
you.
moment. It's fine.
You
And no
are.
one else would have known about it until Mitchell exposed me. It's fine.
Oh my
But
god.
Marcelo is the moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I threw you for a loop on that intro there.
I was like, oh, me? Yes.
Macy, I'm so glad to have you to come on and talk about, spoiler alert, another person, because you've already done one of these interviews. So you haven't checked that one out. Go find it and go listen to it. But I'm excited to have you back to talk about Marcelo, who, he wasn't in the game for a long time in BBH 12, but you were a big part of his story. You had an alliance with him. You had several group chats that you guys were involved with. And, ultimately you kind of saw his game come crashing down around him. So when I hit you
Yes.
up and said, "Hey, we're going to talk Marcelo for his second chance," what were you thinking?
I was excited because I feel like a lot of people can agree that Marcelo deserves a second chance. Like, his personality is such, like, a light, and he didn't last long enough in the game for that to really, like, shine. I mean, it always shines, but, like, to go its, like, full
Mhm.
force, you know?
Yeah,
And so
that's very true. And we were totally robbed of more content from him, of more moments from him. And like in getting to know Marcelo better post season and watch him play other games and just like play like stupid like, board games with him or just like hang out on Zoom calls. We lost so much from him going so early. So to remind everybody about kind of like Marcelo's story, if in case you've forgotten or in case you're new to the page, Marcelo comes into BBH 12. It's his first org his first long term org that he's ever played. He comes from the sequester community. He comes from short mini games, and he comes in here and he's just like a social butterfly, talking to everybody, having a great opening weekend. Um, until he just like makes a few early mistakes that he didn't know not to do, and making group chats, not alliances, just group chats with a little
about a
group.
TV show, right?
Yeah, like
Like,
we have the Bachelorette group chat. You have the final six on the main call group chat. You have the group chat of these people who are connected because they played this, mini game together. You have the group chat. He just makes a bunch of group chats, not thinking that these are alliances, but just thinking like, hey, these are small little pockets of people that we can talk with and chat. We have something in common. Like, it'd be fun to talk to you guys. And obviously, this gets him in a lot of trouble early on because everyone's like, "Oh my god, Marcel's playing so hard. He's playing, you know." So you found yourself in a group chat with Marcelo. Like, what were you making of what he was doing early on in BBH 12?
so, like, at the beginning, I was super excited to talk to him and get to know him, but I was also hesitant because I felt like everyone felt the same way. I was like, I really like Marcelo. Like, we've had like some good conversations. Almost everyone else had to. Like, he is definitely like social, and that scared me off a little bit. Like, of course, I still wanted to work with him because I thought he was awesome, but like, I was like, okay, well, like, what makes me special? And so that was kind of my initial, like, thing about Marcelo.
Yeah. He was really just living his best life. Like truly and just social being the social butterfly that we all know that he is all over the game. I think like he ultimately like he jokes that he made like 15 alliances and honestly it's not that many but it's not far from that number like he
Right, like
he had at least eight named group chats of like different groups of people that he was talking to and and it just became too overwhelming and it became something that just crashed and burned around him um
yeah, because people aren't gonna, like, be hush hush about that at all.
no.
Like, people are gonna, like, make things out to be a bigger deal than they are, because, I mean, we're playing Big Brother here, like, any type of little dirt that you can get on people, you're gonna run
Right.
with it, at least I am. Like, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, like, so and so has this going, and, like, so and so said that they really, really like Marcelo,
Mhm.
so, like, they must be close." You know, like
So
oh,
let me ask you, and I because I think I have two big thoughts about Marcelo. Number one, I think Marcelo has been playing for his second chance since he was voted out of BBH 12, and he walked into the viewing lounge and said, "Oh my God, all my alliances voted me out." Like I think he's been playing for the second chance, and he's been in control of his story about like LOL, I'll just make another alliance or like or I'll just he's very like quick to make like a joke about his experience in 12. Do you think that's going to help him or hurt him as he comes into BBH 15?
I think that it could go either way, and I think he's definitely gonna know people, like, going in, and I'm trying to collect my thoughts
No, you're
here.
fine.
I just, like, I don't know, and people are gonna wanna be like, because the thing about Marcelo, I feel like, is, and, like, whoever's watching this, y'all better support him because he is everyone's biggest supporter.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, if you know Marcelo, you're loved by Marcelo, I feel like, and he will support you in whatever you're doing, like, and cheer you on. And so I feel like there's probably going to be quite a few people who are in this game who he's like that to. And so he's going to have, I'm straying from like what you asked me,
That's
but
okay.
he's going to have to kind of like be a little bit careful going into this because I feel like there's going to be these people who are like I love you so much, you love me so much, like we're going to the end. But he's going to have multiple like people like that. So he's going to kind of have to like pick and choose and just be careful.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that, you know, anyone who knows or who pays attention or who tries to do research, because BBH 12 does not exist yet, technically in episode form. But like anybody who's heard any story about it or who's done any looked into it in any capacity knows that, the first couple rounds were dominated by this like, oh, Marcelo is messy and he is making a bunch of alliances. I think the scariest thing that I see from Marcelo is him walking in against that reputation. He has to continue to be ahead of the story. He has to continue to like downplay it, make jokes about it if he has to, make people believe that it's not true about like, well, yes, it's true, but like he needs to prove to people that he's grown. He needs to prove to people that he's not going to do that. Um, and I
And like
think,
maybe even harp on the fact that that was his first like long-term game. Like I feel like that would be beneficial to him. Be like I just like
mhm.
I don't know. I was treating it more like a mini than like a long-term game, and like I messed up. Just kind of like own up to it, and I feel like
Mhm.
people will trust that and see the genuineness in it.
Yeah. How he responds to that narrative, because it's gonna happen. Someone's gonna make a joke about it. Someone's going to
Yeah.
like, like the first time. Marcelo shows up in the main chat, someone's gonna say something to the effect of like, "Oh, Marcelo, how many alliances do you have so far?" You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and he's just gonna have to be out in front of that narrative. He's gonna have to prove to people, and like you said, explain to people all those things and prove to them that the people that he says he's working with, that he is truly committed to them. And I think, to your point, he's really good at making you believe that he's worth with you. He's really good at you said, like, he's so affirming and he's so loving and caring. He's really good at making you feel that that is real and true.
Yeah.
And I
And
think, oh, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, in the real life, like, he does love me, like, it is true. He's not lying to me.
I think that, like, and I hope that I hope for him, because I think what I would hate is for any person to come back for this season and um their story be dictated for them by the other players. Like, I would hate that. Like, if Marcelo walks in and everybody's like, we cannot trust Marcelo because all he does is make alliances, and I don't have an alliance with him, so he must have alliances with somebody else. So
Yeah,
we're gonna vote him out. I would hate that. That would absolutely kill me. But like, I want, I hope that people recognize the growth that Marcelo has shown as a player.
yeah,
Um, like,
I agree.
he just made the final tribal council of a game, so he's obviously learned something and done something right, and
Right,
he
he's
almost won.
learning.
He almost won. It wasn't he didn't get blown out. It was 5-4. Like, he
Yeah,
was one vote away from winning that game. So I think, like, Marcelo has grown a lot as a player, and I'm excited to see him bring that back to Big Brother hometowns his first game.
yeah. I like well, I feel like you're gonna ask me this question,
Go
so
for
I'll
it. Go,
just
just segue right into where you're going.
so, like, I feel like Marcelo's story kind of needs to, because I don't know, the time that I played with him, I feel like he kind of tried to like find the majority alliance and be in that. And I feel like he doesn't need to go after it at the beginning. I feel like maybe start with his like rocks, his people, and then like let that come on in a little bit. I'm giving advice and I haven't won this. So
No, I think you're
take
right,
that how
though.
you will. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like he has to wait a little bit for that just to let his people know that they're his people and like
Mhm.
he means that.
No, I agree. I actually agree with you 100%. I think the worst thing that Marcelo can do is walk in and try to force an alliance to happen early on. He needs to sit back and he needs to let people come to him, like, make good one-on-one connections with people, let people come to him so that he you know, can show people that he's willing to wait and not try to force something um
Yeah.
on people.
I want Marcelo to last like so much longer this time because he's so funny. Like I still remember his intro video from our season. Like he started off like in a soccer jersey and peeled it off to like a RuPaul's Drag Race t-shirt and like he is very entertaining. I didn't go back really and watch any like confessionals or anything just because like I didn't want to cry more. I'm just kidding. But like I could imagine like I'm so excited to watch him play so I can watch and see what he's doing and like just like be his number one fan this time. And I don't know, I'm excited because he's entertaining. He's so funny.
Yeah, he truly is. He truly is so wonderful. Truly is so funny. Will turn anything into some sort of, like, funny anecdotal, like, humorous little quip. Is delusional in the best possible way, like, and not in a shady. I don't say that in a shady way. I mean it in, like, a way where like, Yeah, I just love when he enters a group chat from out of nowhere and someone's like, "Oh yeah, Survivor 43," and he's like, "When I win that season, like you will all be
Literally,
you'll all be
literally.
coming to my watch party when I win that season." Like, and it's just funny. Like it's good humor. It's good like funny things to just lighten the mood. And I think like we're gonna need people like this on on the season. People who take things serious, like light but also serious. Like, he's there to play. Marcelo, look, do not get it twisted. Marcelo is coming back to play.
Yeah,
But he is also
absolutely.
gonna take it with a grain. He's gonna take everything with a light, positive attitude, which is incredible and wonderful.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one final question. What do you think is gonna happen with Marcelo this season?
I I don't know. He's going to make it far. I'm claiming that into existence. He is, and he's going to provide me with the content that I want. um, I don't like kind of like going back to what I said earlier. Like, I feel like his most crucial part of this game is going to be the beginning of it. Like,
Mhm.
getting with the right people and like getting with those people who aren't going to be running their mouths immediately too, because that was like part of his downfall.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you. I think if Marcelo makes it past the first 3 rounds, then I think we see Marcelo here for a long time,
I
and
agree.
that would be a very exciting story to watch.
Yeah. And this is just me talking. Like I have no clue who else anyone who what am I saying? Oh my gosh. Like
Who
who
else is
else
on
is
the cast?
playing except
Yeah.
for one person, but like I don't know. I just have faith that especially since he went out so early in our season, like that he's gonna come back and shock a lot of people. And I don't know, like I can't imagine Marcelo like being villainous, but like wouldn't that be something if he just came and like shocked us? That would be
I
cool. I would
It would
like
be
a
fun.
shock.
Yeah, I would love to see. I think one of the things I'm most excited about for Big Brother Hometowns 15 in general is just to see the ways that players try and change their game. And do they play like they played
Mhm.
before? Do they play like they always play? Or do they come back and do they try to do something different to help them get that win? We'll have to see. And if Marcelo comes back and is a villain for this season, I think that'd be very fun.
He might be like me too, though. Like how in my head, like I would love to do that, but like in my heart, I'm like,
I
I
want people to.
cannot. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
Ugh.
Macy, thank you so much for joining me to talk about Marcelo. I know that you're rooting for him, and so am I. Um,
Absolutely.
Sound off in the comments if you're rooting for Marcelo. And thank you guys for watching another one of these interviews.
Yeah.
Join the
Like
Discord. Oh, sorry. Go
no, you're good. Like I
ahead.
told y'all at the beginning of this, he, like, if you know him, he's probably your number one supporter. So he better have a million number one supporters here. Like,
That's right.
sound off.
Absolutely. So everybody join the Discord, get your fantasy picks in, do all the BBH 15 things so that you're set up and prepared for this season of Big Brother Hometowns. Until you see us again on a stream proper for the season, we're very excited. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night. Bye.